On.
Welcome again to Breaking It Down with Piper. We're on part 4. So far we've covered downward facing dog, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. So now it's time to address the transition from downward facing dog to the top of the mat and the top of the mat back into your flow. Again, we have Danielle here to help us. So let's start in a downward facing dog and talk about the transition to the top of the mat. One of the easiest ways to complete this transition is a very simple step of each foot up to the top. So here she could inhale, lift the heels, exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, and then just simply step one foot at a time to the top of the mat where she ends up in a forward fold, and then she's ready to inhale, halfway lift. Good. Now go ahead and forward fold, Danielle. To come back to the mat in that same format, inhale, halfway lift, set the palms to the mat, and then again, simply step one foot at a time back into a plank, exhale into chaturanga, and continue with the flow where she ends up in downward facing dog. So one other way to do this transition, which may take a lot of practice, but just try it, is a transitional float. So to start this is what it will start to look like. Inhale the heels high, exhale, bend the knees low. Here, she would gaze forward, so she's looking where she wants to land. And you'll see at some point she shifts all the weight forward so the shoulders are over the hands, because once she springs the toes up off the mat, all the weight is in the hands. So come back to down dog and let's see this in action. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, knees low, gaze forward, spring the feet very lightly landing into a forward fold, and then she's ready to inhale, halfway lift. Then backing that up. Inhale, half lift, set the palms, bend the knees, and lightly spring the toes back, landing in a chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog, and back into downward facing dog. One of the hardest parts about this is really engaging the core and landing the feet as lightly as possible. So keep practicing. Let's see this flowing all together. Go ahead, Danielle. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, knees low. Spring forward lightly. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Now set the palms on this next half lift. Inhale. Set the palms and spring back, landing in a chaturanga and holding for a moment, then inhaling. Up dog, back, down dog. That was great. Keep practicing this, and of course talk to your teachers if you have any questions about this flow. And we're in the middle of a teacher training program, having so much fun learning these things in details. Contact us if you want more yourself. Bye, you guys.